Yeah.
Can you introduce yourself and tell why you're here today? And
My name is Mark Anquoe. Why am I here today? I am here today because today they start to charge fees to come into this part of the park that has always been free. And you know, I've come in here many times. You know, I come in here all the time, like during the week. Just kind of when I stroll through the park, I'll just cruise through here because it's a beautiful place and it's supposed to belong to the public. But as of today, no more. I'm supposed to show my ID or prove where I live. It said actually on the front gate, it said I could show my PG&E bill.
right, and they've closed many of the entrances.
And they've closed the entrances, so they've made it more inconvenient to get in. So yeah.
And they've also ruined the ambience, because part of the ambience is you could go in through those different ways and go out through those different ways, and you had a lot of variety. And now they're planning on doing this, using this demonstration garden as some sort of special exhibit area where they're going to make extra money.
Right,
and they restricted the hours. And
yeah, and you know, on Saturday and Sunday mornings, you would come in here and you know, you'd have like plenty of like local families like hanging out, you know, having picnics, or you see all the local kids running around in here, and you know, it totally added to like the energy and life of the park. And if you look like, you know, all throughout like the you know, the open space here that's usually full of kids, there's nobody today except for the geese. So I mean, it's like the whole feeling of this place has changed without all the local people. So,
and can you tell about your experiences getting in here today?
Well, you know, today I actually I walked up and at first I said I didn't know what my zip code was, and so they said, well, where do you live? And I said, well, I live in San Francisco sometimes. I was like, well, maybe I'm homeless. I mean, what if I'm homeless? Then can I still come in if I'm homeless? And I, you know, if I technically don't live any particular place? And she got really indignant and she said, well, today you can. And I said, well, what about tomorrow? And she was just like, well, we'll see. She said it in that really kind of, you know, Darth Vader sort of dun dun dun. We'll see. It was really kind of yeah, it was really kind of intimidating. Like, we have all the power, so once these cameras are gone, we will squash you beneath our boot. That's melodramatic, but that's totally like the feeling I got from her. So I don't know. I mean, you know, but you know, what does happen with you know, the homeless people that want to come through here? You know,
not answered. In other words, you're excluded. That's what they want.
Right, exactly.
That's their intention.
You know, there's plenty of people who are homeless.
And members get in free. So if you can buy a card, in other words, if you live in Marin in a mansion and you visit here, right, you can get in.
It seems like it's sort of like a rerun of what happened when this continent was lived in.
So it's a colonization.
Indians,
and,
and they came and suddenly they fenced areas in and Indians couldn't go there anymore.
That's true.
Right. Well, the other thing is that the gates over here are closed now. And that's a big thing. And the hours are going to be restricted, and if they're not successful in raising money, they're going to be restricting more hours. They're creating non-union jobs, and that means that opens up the door to getting non-union ticket collectors at the other museums also. And yet SEIU came out in favor of this, and the Gardeners Union came out in favor of this. It just doesn't really make a whole lot of rational sense. You know, when they act like stormtroopers, they come in these colored T-shirts and take up a lot of public space.
I don't think the SEIU got the whole story, because when they
see if I can still get into the bathrooms.
Yeah, you probably need a coin or something to.
Yeah, eventually I'll need a coin.
Yeah, but no, I really wonder if the SEIU really got the whole story, because you know, they kind of came out in force that one of the public comment days, you know, at the downtown at City Hall, and. You know, they were all there in their T-shirts, cheering when they were supposed to cheer. And it was funny because as soon as like 12 o'clock hit, the lunch hour, they all got up en masse and left, because I presume because they were no longer being paid to be there. But you know, once it was also interesting because, you know, their kind of choreographed applause reduced in frequency as more of those union people heard the arguments from the local people about keeping it free and belonging to the local residents. So I honestly think that, you know, they were kind of told to be there and they didn't really have the whole story.